Good afternoon, guys. This is Derek with Derek Does Solar. Thank you for whoever's here. Thank you for coming out. I am a solar energy consultant, really an energy consultant. I work mostly in the Maryland area. I've done some DC. I've done some Virginia. I have started a team last year called Derek Does Solar. I've been in solar for a while, and I like it. I really do. I like having the opportunity to help people, but there's only so many people that I can help with traditional panel-based solar, and that kind of limits me in a way. So, and people need help. People need help right now. Energy rates are rising aggressively, and people need help. So today we're going to learn how you also can get help. Saving up to 25% on your existing electricity bill for no cost. This is the best part. It's totally free. It's no cost. People have a hard time believing this. There's no panels. So when we say, there's no panels, there's no equipment, there's no permitting, there's not even a credit check. So uh, there's not really a lot of reasons left why people would not be wanting to take advantage of this. The only thing is there's limited space available. So this is why, and a lot of people don't know that this is even an option. So this is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this webinar. So what we're talking about today is really a state-supported program that is community solar. Now, people are like, oh, solar, you know what I mean? But community solar is basically solar farm energy. It can save you up to 25% on your existing electricity bill. And it's really, really helping people out. And the beautiful part is you don't have to necessarily qualify, or your home doesn't have to meet a bunch of qualifications and do the credit check like you have to do, or get a loan or a lien or what have you. You're really just tapping in. What they're doing is feeding energy to your utility company, and in return for your subscription, you're getting credits up to 25%. It's 10 to 25%. There are some markers in there. 25% is especially for people who have low to moderate income. It's really helping them out in a time it's very challenging, and the whole country is talking about aggressively rising rates. So my goal is to make solar simple, solar saving simple and accessible to every Marylander, not just homeowners. So let's talk about like why these rates are going up. So over the last 4 years, rates have gone up about 40 to 50%, depending on where you live. Believe it or not everybody pays the same amount for electricity, especially from utility company to utility company, but not even within the same neighborhood. So, and there's a whole lot of factors that go into that. But yes, you are paying within a certain range, but like depending on how close or how far you are from certain pieces of equipment, you may be paying more because delivery gets factored into this. So, yes, rates have gone up 40 to 50% in the last 5 years. They're still going to go up. If you look on the Office of the People's Counsel's website for the state of Maryland, they're promising you that these rates are going to continue. Whether you are in BGE, whether you're in Maryland, whether you're in Potomac Edison, whether you're in SMECO, it doesn't matter. Whether you're in Delmarva, it doesn't matter. So we're in a different situation now than when we grew up. Most of the time that we've been alive, like we've been had public utility, but now the corporate ownership has taken over the utility. So we don't just get our rates decided by public utility. We have our rate increases also decided by shareholders, and shareholders generally want more money every year. So I would expect to see your costs going up every year. There's other factors that Maryland gets about 40 to 45% of its electricity from two fossil fuel plants. That's just two. And those two plants are closing at the end of the year. That's been in the works for quite some time, but in less than 60 days, we're going to lose that 40% of production. The beautiful part is that Maryland is really focused, one of the few states leading the country and focused on renewable energy. 2025, renewables surpassed fossil fuels. So this is the future. This is the future. But so, and just like understanding that they're going to keep rising your rates, and you're not just paying for electricity, you're paying for generation and delivery, not just power. So there's a lot of layers. You're charging about 6 different ways, but we're not going to go into all that. But the solution, the Maryland solution, is community solar. There's we dealt with a lot of homeowners, and we usually when we're in the neighborhoods, we're kind of going out to other to talk to other homeowners, correct, right? Excuse me. And oftentimes where people are like, I'm renting, and they're very interested, but there's never anything available for renters. But now there is something available for renters. There is something available for you. Like, we hear you, you know, the state hears you. They hear you guys on social media. Like, what is going on with these utility rates? And rightfully so. So solar farms feed clean energy to the grid. That's how it works. You subscribe to get a share and get credits on your utility bill. No installation, no maintenance. It's just that simple. It's really, really simple. So you've driven out, and we've all probably taken a trip in a car over the last 5 to 10 years and seen these big, huge fields with farms on them, and some are owned by private people, some are owned by corporations. But nonetheless, someone has invested time and the energy to put this field full of solar farms. And they have to produce something. We're short on energy. We're about to be shorter in a couple of months, so we've got to feed this energy to the grid. So the more people, how it works is they get subscribers. In return, you get credits, and then they actually get something for feeding their energy to the grid. And it's kind of, I don't know the nuts and bolts of how all the dots connect, but So the good news is almost everyone qualifies for this program. Renters, tied to a the utility account. So if you're the bill holder, you're the bill payer, your name is on that bill. You can do it. You don't have to own the property. You can qualify. I mean, you can take advantage. Homeowners, most homeowners, people are funny about their home. Some people don't want panels on their roof. They like, it's the biggest investment they've ever made. It's part of a dream. They don't want the aesthetics of, or this aesthetics is a funny, I'm using that in some funny way, but they don't want that on their house. Maybe they have too much shading. Maybe they can't qualify credit wise for solar, so they should not have to forego, even if it's their renewable dream. But most people don't go solar for that reason. But they should not forego the savings because of those reasons. So this is a way to help those homeowners as well. And certain businesses and nonprofits we work with, quite a few actually. We lower the cost, boost their sustainability. We have several programs for them. So yes, but you have to have a certain type of meter. Most all residential meters are basically the same, but there are various types of commercial meters. So the way that we understand that is we have to see your bill. No matter which way you go solar, it could be solar on the moon. We're going to have to understand how much energy you're producing, and what kind of a meter in a commercial sense, in a commercial situation that you have. So we know if we can work with you and if you can actually take advantage of these incentives. So households save about $20 to $40 a month. 25% is a lot, So, but like again, 25% is the cap. It's 10 to 25%. There are some qualification markers on that end. But yes, $20 to $40 a month, let's say on $120, $140 electric bill is a big impact. If you could save up to 25% on a $500 electric bill, or $400 electric bill, that becomes a $300 electric bill. That's a big difference. That's $1,200 a year. That makes a lot of difference in a household budget. So business can save even more, because the bigger the bill, the bigger the savings. All this is based on usage. Unfortunately, big businesses use more energy and will probably charge more than homeowners. And these credits appear as community solar credit on your bill, right there on your bill. So you don't have to change utility companies. This isn't like some, what do you call it, one of those third parties where it's the same for a while and then it jumps up. Like, none of that happens. So it's almost better that the utility company keeps raising the rates, because the more they raise the rates, the more you save. So this is really meant to help people. So Maryland supports a 100% clean energy goal by 2035. I think they moved that up from 2040. It's what it was. Renewable energy does a lot for our economy. It creates jobs. It reduces carbon emissions. It creates other alternatives, cheaper alternatives than some of the fossil fuel alternatives. It takes an enormous amount of money to maintain a power plant. When the sun comes out every day, it is generally the most reliable thing in our lives. Like, that it's daytime, because the sun is out, plants are blooming, all those sort of things that impact from the sun. And it just so happens that you can get electricity in that way, even if it's not on your house, or at least benefit from. So how does this work? How does this work? Start by emailing your bill to Derek Does Solar, the number one at gmail.com. We see if there's availability for you on the solar farm. Spots are limited. We interpret that information on your bill and start your subscription application. So what I like to do, at least what I've learned, is sometimes it's better. Most people say they want to do it on their own. So I start the application, put in all the necessary information. I send you a link where you could just finish it in 5 minutes. But what I find is that people get stuck. So I think we're evolving into this way where, yeah, let's have a phone call. Let's get this done on the phone. If we happen to not have the luxury of being in person. Um, Sometimes we are. Sometimes especially some of the older residents, we go to your house. I can go to your house. Sometimes I meet people when I'm, setting up a table someplace, so we could do those things right there. But I understand also most people are very busy, do not have time or desire for some dude to come to their house, nor do they have the time to come to me. So, in today's world, we can do a lot over the phone, over the computer. So we can get you saving, and generally these savings start kicking in on your bill within 2 billing cycles. So 1 to 2 months is generally how it happens. So you're probably wondering, do I need panels? No, no, you don't need panels. Do you have to change your utility company? No, you don't have to change your utility company. And what was happening, now this community solar is not new. This has been a pilot program in Maryland for about 5 years now. And that pilot program was successful enough that Maryland decided to make this permanent. And that permanence is good because like these incentives are designed to last for continuously for 20 years. The only way that you lose them is if you move out of that farm service area. But then there's other farms. There's farms coming up, coming online. So even though space might be limited in 2025, no one knows what that looks like in 2027. If you move, you can just transfer or cancel. There's no cancellation fee. There's no penalty for canceling. You can cancel at any time. If you're really committed to going and giving your money to Pepco or BG&E, I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's your decision. You can cancel any time without penalty. And is it really free? Yes, it is really free, 100%. Farms just need subscribers. That's how it works. I think some of these older farmers, it gives them a little bit of income in the downtime. So farms need subscribers, and they got to figure out, hey, like we got to do something. So I I want to, in a way, I'd like to take some questions if anyone has any, and I want to really give you an initial sort of apology if you're having trouble finding me. Like, this is relatively new to me. This is going online, and like I've done this before, but not in a webinar way, not in that way. So that's relatively new. I'm out here, just trying. I want to educate people. We're not selling anything. I'm not asking you for your money. I'm not asking you to send me your credit card information. Like none of that. This is really intended to help people who actually need the help. You know, we're in very inflationary times in a very expensive part of the United States. Not everyone is living comfortably in the DMV. Unfortunately, I can't do this for Virginians. I wish I could, but I can't. But for Marylanders, I can. I think for Washingtonians, I think they can only give 10%, but we can do this for Washingtonians too. And if you happen to be watching this from Delaware, I think there's some really good incentives coming your way through Community Solar. So stay tuned on that news. So that's it. These many lunch and learn webinars are going to get better. They're going to get a bit more visual. I'm a Gen Xer. This is necessarily something that I grew up doing. So, it's kind of been a little bit of a learning curve for me, but I'm picking it up and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep trying to educate whoever wants and offer the opportunity to save yourself, up to 25% on your bill. Now, again, we live in an area with a range of incomes. Not 25% off of someone's bill may not mean as much, but to some people it means a lot. And if you're one of those people, don't be ashamed. Just reach out to me, send me your bill and email. Again, that email is Derek Does Solar, just as it sounds, the number one at gmail.com. Shoot me your bill. I'll review it. Make sure there's space for you on that solar farm, and set up a time where you and I can sit and go through this application together. I have a few questions that you need to ask. I need to ask you to get through that the solar farm needs. Um, the only negative is that you will have to use your credit or debit card to reserve your space. You're not going to get charged, but that is how that's your skin in the game, that you to reserve that space and reserve your 25%. So that's not something that I necessarily need. If that's you're uncomfortable, I can send you a link and you can complete that process yourself. If you're comfortable with me doing it on the phone, and I have no interest in saving your credit card numbers or whatever, but ideally, I try to get. I do respect people's privacy, and of course, something as sensitive as a credit card, we want to try to get as much of this done on my end, and most people are pretty savvy enough to complete like a 5 minute application, or finish that 5 minute part of the application process. So it's up to you. I'm willing to help if you need it. I'm always helping on the front end, but if you need help with that link, I'm there to help you. So we just have to schedule some time. Sometimes you're in front of people, or you're doing things. So I thought this would probably go for about 20 to 25 minutes. We're about coming up on 20 minutes now. So that's really all I got, to tell you the truth. I could drag this out, but I know most people are at lunch or they're at work and you're watching this. Um, I'm open to any suggestions on how to improve this little webinar series. My goal is to do this every Wednesday around the same time. And hopefully, if as I get more savvy, to be able to replay these. So for the people that who have not had the opportunity to see them, maybe your work keeps you head down where you don't have time to attend 11 a.m. Webinar on a Wednesday morning. I totally get that. So the goal is to have a replay at 7 on Wednesdays as well, and it's like Saturday mornings. Maybe around 11 o'clock. So people have an opportunity, get there, learn the information, and then go about the rest of their lives. So uh, that's really it. Again, like I thought it was going to be much longer, but it's not. That it's very simple. If you have any questions, reach out to me, whether that be through any of these various DMs. Um, you can reach out to me directly if you have my contact information. Next week, I'll have some slides. I would like to put one up here, but it looks like trash. But this QR code should be showing up that shows you our website. So there's also a like a form that if you don't want to talk to me directly, at least initially, you can put in a form that suggests your interest, and I could just give you a call back. But yeah, that's it. Derek Does Solar, and our tagline is no gimmicks, no games, just solar. Now we have the opportunity to help a whole lot of Marylanders at a time when Marylanders really need help. So if you are one of those people and you do need help, please feel no shame in reaching out to me. I am here to help you in the ways that I'm describing today. All right. So that's it. I'll let you guys get back to lunch. Have a good day. Um, I don't know. I feel like I should be saying something here. Oh yeah, like, subscribe. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, I think we just did it on YouTube today. But as moving forward, we'll try to get this on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I'm not a big Instagram guy, but that could happen. And so that way, just reach more people and get the message out. If you know anyone who we can help, who needs help, send them on over. You know, I think we're starting a referral program or something like that. That's just been sort of undecided of what that is, but this is maybe like a $25 gift card, or something like that, for referrals. We'll see, but we're just happy to help. Again, we don't need your money. We don't need, any of your personal information. The solar farms just need subscribers. They need people. You don't have to be a big believer, a big believer in renewable energy or even climate change to appreciate the fact that you could get 25% off of something that is aggressively being raised on you in this moment. So that's all I got for today. Like, subscribe, share. We got Derek Doe Solar channel on YouTube. There's a page, a Derek Doe Solar page on LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and Facebook, and next door. So we're going to be doing some outreach. Just look out for us. You're going to see us out there. You may be able to see us in your neighborhood. Some of those young guys. So thank you. Have a good day, and we'll talk.